Where are you?
Okay,
You're at home? It looks
I'm
like you're
home.
home.
I am home. Yeah, I have some solo shows next week, and my studio that I make music in is pretty small. It's like a small little office kind of space, really narrow, so I can't actually set up my live setup in there
You
unless
like
I
your
put the
home?
headphones. So I'm home just this week playing in my basement.
Well, and you like your home because I'm like, I don't have like home since I left my country at all. It's like
Oh yeah, where are you?
I'm from Venezuela.
Okay.
Yeah, and yeah, I have been here living here, and I don't feel like I fit in any apartment yet.
Mhm. I've
You
been in
know,
this house for like 15 years, so the house feels like
no,
home.
yeah.
You know.
cool. And how is the your studio? So I'm assuming your set to play live is kind of, big. And
For my solo set, it's not really. It's just like a hurdy-gurdy and a pedal board and a table. But I need to set up like monitors, so I
speakers,
I
yeah.
can hear like what it's because the hurdy-gurdy is an acoustic instrument. So when I practice, it's hard for me to replicate like I won't in a club. I can't hear the instrument, because everything else is so loud. So I wanted to do a few run throughs of my set with my speakers turned up loud enough that I wouldn't be able to hear the instrument. So the only place I could do that was in my basement. It's been
What's
fun.
your favorite piece of gear?
Right now it's the hurdy-gurdy. It's that or my Euro rack modular synthesizer. And like my new solo stuff is just the two of those things. Nothing else. So yeah.
Are
Recommend
you
like
are
oh, sorry. Do you recommend start like an Euro rack or it's like because I'm always like I want to, but it's like too expensive and we need to know a lot about it.
Uh do you know other synthesizers?
Well, kind of. We have here some, but
Oh yeah, you do. Well, sure. Yeah.
more.
I mean, if you get yeah, it's expensive. To be honest, like we get some artist discounts and
But
I got a lot at once and then like I stopped quickly because I realized that it can just become a very bad expensive habit. But I have what I have and I like what I have.
but sounds wise it's better, or you think it's like just like you
I
can
don't
choose
no, I
more.
don't think for me it's not like a sound thing because I don't really use it to make traditional synthesizer sounds. I use I have like modular Eurorack samplers in my gear, and like kind of granular processing machines. So I use it more for that, more for sound design. And I just like that I don't really know quite what's going to come out of it when I start. You can just play around and turn and I feel like with that, I end up surprising myself and maybe like even feeling a bit more like I'm just like a facilitator and like a conduit of some kind of energy exchange. And then my job is to actually get out of the way and let it do its thing. And it feels a little bit more spiritual or something to me than actually like playing, or a
Yeah.
little bit more
And how
zen or
different
something.
is it, this set from your solo shows than playing with Animal Collective?
I mean, it's
Is it similar, or you use like different stuff or more stuff? Is it more like complex?
I use similar stuff in terms of like, I mean, I play hurdy-gurdy on some Animal Collective songs like I do on this new record quite a bit, but it's not like the main part of the main featured instrument, whereas in my solo set it is. I don't sing, so my solo stuff is all instrumental. That's quite different than when I play with the other guys, and they're all really strong singers, and so it's a little bit more just like jammy and free form. Even though it's written, like I know what I'm doing, but I might come across as more jammy or free form to some people and
So,
instrumental.
Brand, what is a hurdy-gurdy? I mean, I'm just Googling it now because I didn't know what it was and it looks so
Uh-huh.
weird. So can you describe what it is? It looks like a guitar, but at the same time, it looks like a kind of like a keyboard. What is it?
Yeah. I jokingly describe it as like a medieval or Renaissance keytar. Like so there's strings, and there's like drone strings that never change pitch, almost like a bagpipe or something, or like a sitar. Like it just drones on a single note. But then some strings can be fretted with what you see there looks like a keyboard, and that actually is like laid out, and the intonation is just like a piano. like I know the keys look strangely shaped, but it actually is just like a 12-tone piano scale. So you crank it with one hand and you kind of like hit that crank with your fingers to make like a buzzing rhythm, and then you play the melody with your left hand.
So what is it?
as if you're
How
playing
does
a
it
piano.
sound like? Like a sitar?
No, it's closer to I mean it sounds like it's in the same, I'd say, range as like a viola or a cello, but because it has that drone string, it has like constantly like a underlying drones, like, so it's sort of like a string version of a bagpipe maybe.
Crazy. I want to
Yeah.
hear that. Yeah,
Yeah,
Brian,
yeah,
I was
I like it.
checking
It's fun.
your discography, and it's like how you guys are so prolific, you know. It's like you guys have so many songs and long songs, and over the years, you know, it's like it's hard, you know, like make songs. Well, for some people, you know, and only you guys have, I don't know how many songs you guys have already, but it's like it's how do you handle that?
Well, I mean, we're lucky enough that um this can be our job, so we don't like come home exhausted at the end of the day and then like have to, squeeze music making in. We're like really fortunate, really lucky that that's the case. And it's just like what we like to do. I think we all have pretty like strong work ethics and try not to take it for granted. Um, I mean, if I was like I don't really write songs in the same way that the other guys write songs. Like I have more sound design and stuff, but so like if it were up to me to write like the songs with like melodies and lyrics, it wouldn't be prolific at all, you know what I mean? But like I'm just lucky that the other guys who write those songs can kind of write can just sit down and sneeze one out if they want to. So I'm fortunate in that way on a personal level too.
Well, and Brian, what do you think of, like, so Animal Collective has been around for 20 years. How, like, technology has changed the way you guys did music in the beginning? Because a lot of, I feel like in the past, like maybe 5 years, like the world has changed so much. And, the way we listen to music back in the early 2000s compared to how we listen to music and how we write music is very different. Like technology has made a huge impact. What do you think of that? How does that change? Has that changed you in the way you write music and the way you express whatever you're doing?
um I mean, we kind of started DIY, so it's to me, I guess like you get new gear. I don't know if necessarily things feel so. I mean, that's not true. I guess like something with you, like the music I'm making now, like I could never make in the 2000s, like with Eurorack stuff. But that technology existed. I just didn't have access to it, so it's hard for me to like once I get access to something, like I am definitely not like a technophile. I'm not in the vanguard of like new gear or new software. Like it really trickles down to me for like it's around for a while before it gets to me. I literally just started recording stuff like in Ableton like 5 years ago. And it had been around for a while before that. And I literally just signed up and started to learn Pro Tools this summer. So like I'm definitely behind the curve, but in like I watch other people do it and I think like it just makes everything so much more democratic. I mean, my son, for the holidays last year, I got him like just a MIDI controller, and there's like free software by Akai. They make like the MPCs and stuff, and just free downloadable software. And if you have a MIDI controller, which you can get at Guitar Center for not that much money these days, and relatively speaking, I don't mean to make it seem like it's like totally accessible to everybody as much as it should be, but he's already like making beats that sound just like the things that I hear adults making. And
How old
so
is
like
he?
13.
13.
Yeah.
And you
So
want to be him as do you see him as a musician, or you don't recommend that to him?
I recommend whatever to him. He's very musical. He plays piano, saxophone, MPC. He really likes it. I always tell him he's free to do whatever he wants, as long as you can take care of yourself.
Yeah,
Do what makes you
cool.
happy.
And also, it's exciting of Animal Collective's new record. So we've listened to 3 singles so far, and
Mhm.
one of them is Defeat, which is 22 minutes long, which is, I think, it's good news that people, that bands not only, put out, it seems that so much of the music that we listen to nowadays, like, okay, so 1.5 minute songs, and it not all bands, of course, but it seems like people are doing easy listening music just for the sake of releasing easy listening stuff, and you guys go the other way. So that's interesting. What do you think about that?
Um, I mean, yeah, we weren't sure. We put that out as a single. I mean, we knew it wouldn't like make it on the radio, and
But that's good.
I don't think the record label thought it was going to go on the radio either. That song we've been playing live for almost 5 years now, and we knew that our fans really liked it and it resonated with them. And so there was even like we weren't even sure if we'd put it on the full length record. Like maybe it would just be a standalone single to begin with. But in the end, we just decided to like it felt too much of the centerpiece of this time period to not have it represented on the record. Yeah, so yeah, I don't think we like put it out with any kind of societal benefit or commentary in mind. We just thought we thought as a song, it's the oldest of the bunch on there, I think. And yeah, it's just been it was always the centerpiece of our live sets and our centerpiece of our practices and everything when like from the start of this era and the previous record too, Time Skiffs. It was written before then, so it just felt like it's felt like a big statement of just what we've been interested in. There's a lot of hurdy-gurdy on it, a lot of keyboards on it, a lot of harmonies. That just felt like a statement we wanted to make, but not necessarily with taking into account people's listening habits. I mean, like we weren't commenting on it. We knew it'd be a tough sell for a lot of people, but Domino definitely asked for some shorter songs after that.
Brian, and are you into new music, new bands? Because we live right now, I think, in a kind of exciting times again.
Mhm.
There's a lot of bands, a lot of, it's like weird stuff, hardcore, a lot of, alternative music. Are you into new bands or?
Yeah, I don't listen as much as I would like to. I'm in my mid 40s now. I'm probably just like turning into like jazz guy. I mean, in that world, I love Irreversible Entanglements, and I think More Mother, like with her solo stuff, like the last 2 records she's put out, two of my favorite things that have come out in recent years. That production, I think I can't remember the person she works with to do a lot of those beats, but or she might just do them herself. I don't quite know her production process, but I love her stuff. Marina Hairlop, I really love. Lorraine, who we toured with last year. I love their stuff, and haven't listened to the new Tirza yet, but I really like the last 2 by her, so I want to check that out. So yeah,
Cool.
I check new stuff out. I wish I did more, but
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool, Brian. Okay.